So today, I'd like to talk about being ginger, and I was very quiet when I was at school, and I was very I kept to myself mainly. I but looks and stuff has never really mattered to me. It's not um, really mattered at all to me. I never thought about it. But to a lot of people, especially when I was at school, looks matters, and because I was ginger, I was really alienated, um, and you get all the 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 bullshit, the bullying and all that stuff, all throughout school because that's just what happens when you got red hair. So I was quite I expected it after a while, and so I learned how to put up a fight. Um, I didn't hate having red hair. I was happy with it. I didn't sort of hate myself because of it. I was. It is what it is. It never bothered me personally. It bothered other people. So I thought, well, if you have a problem with me, then we'll have a fight. So, and that was literally all it was when I was at school. I was always um, in fights, and obviously you'd have the teachers who were completely out of touch, and they wouldn't want to know why you had a fight. They just want to know that don't do it again. You'll be in trouble for it even happening in the first place. Um, but yeah, even parents as well. And my parents, I don't look anything like my parents. I don't look anything like my brothers. My parents, um, none of them have red hair and stuff. And even my own father would take the piss sometimes as well. Um, but yeah, you would learn how to have a thicker skin to it, how to look after yourself as well as people would just want to fight you for no reason whatsoever. And so throughout my time at school, I was always in fights quite regularly, um, and it never bothered me. I found some common ground actually with gypsies. Um, there were gypsies who had freckles, and even some of them had red hair and stuff. And I used to do boxing when I was a kid, and so they used to turn up at the same boxing club I used to go to. So we were friendly to one another, and I suppose that was quite cool. But I would argue that at school, having red hair is worse than having acne. You know, I used to know um, there was this girl at school, and I think she was a fucking slag. To be honest, I think she was, you know, she was like sleeping around with whoever she wanted to in the year. And I used to sit next to her. I think it was in English, and she had there were pictures in a book or something. I can't remember what it was, but she was looking at pictures of boys absolutely covered in zits, and the ones that were covered in zits, she was going, "Oh, he's fit. Oh, he's fit." And I was looking, and I was like, "They're covered in zits. What are you talking about? That's so bizarre." Like, I I wasn't um, spotty. I didn't have acne. Um, I had some spots, um, on every so often I would have a massive spot on my face, but I never had like acne or anything like that. I would get a spot on my nose or a spot on my cheek, or you know, or on my chin or something, but I never had acne that was horrendous like acne or anything. So I had spots on my shoulders, spots on the back of my neck, and things like that. But that was about it, really. It wasn't really too bad. So, um, I, yeah, for some reason, this girl, what she was attracted to was the most spottiest, zittiest kind of kid, kind of boy. That's what she was attracted to, and I thought, what the fuck? That's so bizarre. That's so weird. But yeah, um, yeah. But people I grew up with, they were chavs basically, and even when um, I left school, I think it sort of carried over when I left school. This sort of hatred towards gingers, and I think its origin is like a religious thing, because I remember my nan used to tell me that, because she had long red hair, and she used to tell me that when she was a kid, people used to pick on her for having red hair, and they used to say, "Ooh, you got the devil's red hair," and all this sort of thing. So, yeah, that must be it must be some sort of religious origin um, behind it. But when I got older and I left school, and there was this guy, I mentioned him before. He was the homeless fella I found in town, and he's I used to hang around with him after school, after we left school, because I didn't have a social life. I didn't have anything going on, and he was involved in drugs and all that sort of thing. So I just hung out with him because I thought, why not? I've got nothing else going on. So I got no other friends, no other real friends. So I just chose to hang out with him. And so, yeah, I'd come over to his house and stuff, and he'd have all these people around. And these people were basically, they were using him for the drugs. They weren't really his mates, you know. They were scumbags basically. But sometimes you'd have girls who show up and stuff, and he, I remember him saying to one of these girls, he said, "Oh, my mate in the other room, you know, he's single. You know, would you be interested in him?" And I remember this girl saying, "Oh no, absolutely not. No, he's ginger. Oh no, that's weird. Nah, bruv, I can't do that." You know, so the superficial cunts basically. They'd much rather get dicked by Chad. They get dicked by Chad, and then they fucking pump out loads of kids, and Chad just leaves. So instead of settling with a honest, genuine lad, regardless of the fact that he's got red hair, but nah, I just want to let Chad get balls deep and then leave. So yeah, there you go. I remember meeting this girl online, and we met up in town, and we got on with each other, and we were we liked each other. You know, it was cool, and um, she seemed nice and stuff. Um, she was a chav, obviously from town, and but we were getting on. We were getting on. We were having a laugh. We went to go and get lunch and stuff, and we were being quite open about things. And I explained to her that I'm an honest, believe in honesty, and I believe in old-fashioned family values and things like that. And so she said, "Oh, okay, that's cool. But the thing is, bruv, um, you know, you're ginger." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, well spotted. So?" Because she was talking to me as if I should already know um, what the problem is, you know. She goes, "Well, I can't be with you, though, can I?" And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "I don't want any ginger kids, bruv." I thought, what the fuck? It's so bizarre. That's so strange. It's almost like it's a eugenics thing, that you don't want to have children with this person because you don't want ginger kids. It's so bizarre. But I thought, you're a fucking superficial bitch. I'm gone, basically. I'm out. That's it. So, yeah, very strange. Very strange. She wasn't really interested. She wasn't interested in me, and but she come out with me anyway. So I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, very strange. Yeah, and then later I met this girl online, and she seemed cool. She seemed sort of interesting, and we had a laugh about stuff, and you know we would. She liked edgy sense of humour and things like that, and we were both um, sending memes to each other, which was quite offensive, or could be considered offensive. Um, but yeah, we were having a laugh, and we were sort of seemed cool, and I kind of felt relaxed with her, and I felt like I could basically send her some really offensive shit, and she would find it funny, and so I thought that was great. And so she lived quite far away, but it's fine. I got on the train to go and see her this one day, and we hung out and that, and we were chatting, having a good time. You know, sort of we're getting to know each other, and you know, making each other laugh. And she was like, "Oh, I hate immigrants. I hate what this country has become, and all this sort of thing." And I'm like, "You are based," you know. Um, but you think this girl, she sounds absolutely perfect. It sounds like something went wrong, and to assume that, yes, it did. So what went wrong was that I uh, yeah, we had a good time, and I said goodbye, and I got on the train and went home, and then she starts spamming me with text messages of like, "I want you to be honest with me about your um, your ethnicity, and you know." And she said, "Are you Jewish?" And I said, "No. Do I look Jewish?"
Ugh, my allergies and everything else. Just terrible. Choo, choo.
Okay, well, I'm not Jewish. I don't think I'm Jewish anyway. So yeah, I guess just take my word for it. Because this is before I had a ancestry DNA test. Um, but she said, "Well, if you can't confirm, you know, that you're not Jewish or not anything else, then I don't really want to know. And I said, fuck you then. Fuck you then. Goodbye. I can now confirm that I have done an ancestry test. I am 79% English. Pieces are, I think, 3% Scottish, 3% Irish, 7% Welsh, 2% Icelandic, 1% Norwegian, and 5% German.
At least I'm not a stupid Jew.
That's my ethnic makeup, basically. 100% Northwestern European. There you go. It's exactly what I assumed, as the average English person is basically like that anyway, where it's like 70 to 80% English, and the rest is just from neighbouring peoples, as in the Celts or the Scandinavians, as the Vikings came and settled here for a little while, and German is bound to appear, because that's originally where the Saxons. That's what an average English person is made up of, is basically the Germanic ethnic group and the Celtic ethnic group. No French, so I'm not Norman. Because it was indeed their fault for why the Jews ended up here in the first place. Anywho, obviously for being ginger, everybody's disposition of you is much lower than the average person. So in Morrowind terms, it would be,
go now. We're watching you, scum. If you're here for trouble, you'll get more than you bargained for. Not now, Outlander. Head on.
It's clearly a low IQ kind of misinformed chavs, basically, who have this hatred for people with red hair. I remember meeting someone else as well, this other person who lived quite far away, when I was still riding my bike. So I said that I don't mind, but I can ride over to see you, to come meet up with you. And so I rode for miles to this next city to go and see her, and she was a chav as well, but we were getting on. She was nice enough, you know, and it turned out that she had all sorts of it turned out that, well, I gradually picked up on and learned that she was specifically interested in money, because at the time I was working, and I was getting quite a decent pay, so I went to see her, and I went out for lunch with her, and we had a good time. But she would say, later she would say, can I borrow some money? And I picked up on that, and I thought, So obviously I lent her money because I want to be kind, and so but I noticed every single time I came to see her, she said exactly the same thing. So one day I just decided, what if this time I say, sorry, I haven't got any money on me today. I wonder how she would react to that. So because every single time she was asking me for money, and I thought, I wonder how she would react if I just said, no, I don't have any money today. And so, again, she asked me, and I said, yeah, sorry, I don't have any money on me today. And then she just completely changed. She completely just went, okay, well, I've got to go home now, so goodbye. And there you go. And I don't put up with being messed about, so I just said fuck off, and that was it. And I left and deleted her number, and that was it. You know, that was it. It's as simple as that. And every single time, it never worked. It never works out. Every single time, it never works out. I always find myself back where I started. It's like a real woman just doesn't exist, or a proper woman just doesn't exist at all. A trad wife, you know, who believes in old-fashioned English values and wants to live off grid. I mean, there's no such woman. No such woman. It's completely fantasy to want a genuine, honest woman these days. To meet someone like that, someone who's motherly, someone who would want to be a good wife. As you got communism, you've got feminism, ideologies that have damaged women, and then you've got chavvy women who want to be impregnated by as many different men as possible. So to find the right woman is impossible. It's not. That's modernity. That's it. That's how things have turned out. Women have really high standards, even average or below average looking women, or like a big fat bird that looks like a fucking pig, you know, and her standards are going to just be so high, she's not going to be interested in me or someone, you know, who's average, a normal person like me. She wants Chad. She wants to get, and Chad doesn't want to stay. Chad doesn't want to stay with them. And then they complain about men. And I mean, there's plenty of honest men out there for you, but no, you just want Chad every time, and you're just going to complain about men, all of men. It's broken. It's really, really broken. It's a mess. I'm done with dating apps and things like that. I am just done. I'm talking about experiences that I had about, what, 10 years ago, when I early 20s, late teens, early 20s. Those are the kind of experiences I was having then. And it just come to, I come to like 25 years old, and then no woman. I'm just not getting anything from any woman at all. And if I do, the conversation never lasts. It never gets to the point of wanting to meet in person. It never gets there now. So I think I'm too old. There's too many options, and standards are too high. I'm getting higher and higher and higher and higher. It's too late for me. And it's over. The dream of being married and having children, having responsibility and living a life of purpose and meaning and an honest, good life is impossible. It's just not going to happen. I am too intelligent for chavs. So I don't like rap music. I don't care about rap music or anything. I don't give a shit. I'm also too intelligent for chavs as well, because chavs have extremely low IQ. And also women who seem to be more intelligent from like cities and wherever, they are most likely going to be interested in communism and feminism, having polyamorous, degenerate sex. So I don't belong in this time. I don't belong in this day and age. I've always thought I was an old brain on young shoulders. I've always thought that I'm just an old man in a young person's body, but growing up in this world, now I don't belong at all. I don't belong. So I think it's possible that who I'm looking for exists, but like I say, my luck stat is so low that I don't think I'll ever find her. It just won't happen. I will never cross her path. And using dating apps is a total waste of time. I'm too old for it. Too old. So that's it, really. It's over. And that's my conclusion. That's the conclusion that I've come to. So I guess just lead me to my books and my history and my scholarly duties, I suppose. So that's it for now.
you again. They tried to bury their sins, but instead planted the seeds of their doom. A war is coming. I've seen it in my dreams. Fire sweeping over the earth, bodies in the streets, cities turned to dust. Retaliation.